Hey everybody, this is your second video of Unit 1, Formative 1, Addition, Subtraction, and Multiplication, Division. Alright, we're going to start by adding and subtracting real numbers. Okay, so when we add and subtract real numbers, first of all, we're going to think of a number line. Okay, so the easiest thing that you can do is draw yourself a number line for every problem. Okay, I'm going to just show you an example of a couple of them here, but I'm not going to do it for every single one. So 5 plus negative 3, okay, so if I start at 5 on my number line, 6, 7, 8, and on this direction it's going to go 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so if I start at 5, which is right here, plus negative 3 is the same as moving left 3. So 1, 2, 3. So if I move left 3, I'm at a positive 2. Okay? For number 2, we have negative 12 plus a negative 12. Well, that means we're starting at negative 12 and we're adding another negative 12 to it. Or let's say I owe somebody $12, so I'm $12 in the hole, and I'm adding another $12 in the hole to that. So I'm not at 0, I'm actually at negative 24. Okay? Alright, subtraction is a little different. What I like to do with subtraction is actually make all of them into addition problems because we're better at those. So when I have, like number 3, I have 4 minus a negative 4. Okay, well when I have two negative signs in a row, it's the same as making it 4 plus a positive 4. It's the same as making it plus the opposite of the number. Okay? So, well, 4 plus 4 is just 8. And there's your answer is 8. Okay? And if we look at this last one here, I'm at negative 20, so I owe somebody $20, so I'm $20 in the hole. And if I want to change this, I can say negative 20 plus the opposite, which would be negative 8. Okay, so now it's going to be just like number 2 up here. So I'm at negative 20 and I go another 8 in the hole. So I'm at negative 28. So negative 20 plus a negative 8 is negative 28. It's the same as negative 20 minus 8. Okay, now notice how I put some of these numbers in parentheses here. You won't always see them like that. Number 1 and 2 you'll see written like that quite often with the parentheses. Sometimes you'll see the parentheses like on number 3 and 4. It just depends. The parentheses don't really change anything though. Alright, just a little fun fact for you. Plus and minus signs were actually used as early as 1489 AD. Okay, that is a long time ago. So just keep in mind that this is something that has been used for years and years and years, and you should probably know it too. Alright, when we look at multiplying and dividing real numbers, okay, first of all, we have to look at some of the ways that we can notate these. So number 1, 4 parentheses, negative 5 parentheses, is the same as saying 4 times negative 5. Okay? Well, remember, a positive times a positive is going to give me a positive. A positive times a negative is going to give me a negative. And a negative number times a negative number is going to give me a positive. This works the same with division. So if we say, instead of times, we could say a positive divided by a positive equals a positive. A positive divided by a negative equals a negative. And a negative divided by a negative equals a positive. Okay? So opposite symbols will equal a negative. Same symbol is going to equal a positive. Okay, so let's actually look at some of these. We have 4 times negative 5 is the same as the way that this is written here. Well, 4 times 5 is 20, okay, and I have a positive times a negative, which means my answer will be negative 20. Okay, here is another way. Number 2 is another way we can write multiplication. Negative 2 times negative 6. Well, 2 times 6 is 12, and we have a negative times a negative, so if we look down here, Okay, what I wrote before, if we look down here, a negative times a negative equals a positive, so we're going to leave that as positive 12. Another way that you may see multiplication written is just 2.6, and that would just give me 12 as well. Okay. All right, and division here, we have 16 divided by negative 4. Okay, once again, remember we have a positive, in this case, divided by a negative. Well, that's right here, positive divided by a negative is going to equal negative. So 16 divided by 4 equals 4, and it's going to be negative 4. Now, another way you may see this written is 16 divided by negative 4. Or you may actually see it as 16 over negative 4. But usually you'll see the parentheses on the bottom like that if you do. Okay? And finally, negative 25 divided by negative 5. Okay, well, once again, that's a negative divided by a negative, so we know our answer is going to be positive, and that's going to be a positive 5. Okay, and once again, you could see that written the exact same way that I showed you the other two ways to write number 3. Okay? All right, and a little fun fact for you about multiplication. So this big long number right here, okay, is actually the product, which if we remember from the last video, which means multiplication. So it's the product of these two numbers right here. Okay, and if we look at the sequence of the numbers, it actually goes from 1 to 9 and then back down to 1. So that's kind of neat if you want to look at that. Little fun fact for you again. Alrighty. And that is it for multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction. Make sure you know those and go back to my website and please take the quiz. Okay, so that I know that you watched this video. Have a nice day. We'll see you in class.